stream on YouTube. Today is Friday, the 20th of March, and it's just 6 p.m. UK time. For those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here twice a week on my free time to give some advice, recommendations, and suggestions about anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior. So if you have any questions, just ask me, and I will do my best to give you some actionable recommendations as much as I can. I'm going to be here probably for a couple of hours, unless it's very, very quiet, in which case I will resume my day doing something else. But if you have any questions, just ask, and as long as the questions keep flowing, I will complete the 2 hours today. The way that I start my live streams is always by reading and commenting on my own post. So let's get started, and hopefully at some point some of you will start a conversation with me. First post. Happy people want everyone to have more. Unhappy people want the enemy to have less, because they believe that they themselves can't have more. And so the only way for them to feel superior is for others to have less. And so this is something that we see often with people who are very angry against some other groups in society. I don't want to go political, but sometimes I talk about politics if it's relevant to psychology. Right? But I think most of you would have an idea, I hope, about what I'm talking about. Next, a very important post for me, and it goes like this. Trying is a skill. Everyone is focused on doing, and this can create a lot of pressure for many of us. And so if you want to create change, start with trying, and see it as a skill that you master by virtue of repetition, and the most important thing for you to do at this point. And as you become better at trying, eventually some of your attempts will hit the mark, and this will take you to the next level of momentum. And so it's something that I've never heard anyone saying, but I think it's very important to realize that just trying is actually already a skill. And very often we give up because we tried and it didn't work. But that's because we're still at the stage of trying. And so if you could develop the skill of just trying and keep on trying again, eventually we'll become better at trying. And at some point, things will start to get easier and produce some outcomes that are what we want. Next post. Knowing that you can heal allows you to aim higher than just surviving. People who claim that you can never fully heal are only projecting their own journey. And they are probably coming from a good place. They don't want you to be disappointed. But because they suffer from their own helplessness, doesn't mean that you have to. So that's why it's very important to, I see this all the time. So many people will talk about depression or anxiety or anything, but they're like, you can never change. You have to learn how to live with that. You have to learn how to manage that. But it's actually very limiting, because although not everyone will necessarily find healing, if we take the possibility of it now, what chances have they got? Hope is the minimum, and so we need to basically do our best to tell people everything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed, but everything is possible. And possible is enough, because when something is possible, it opens possibilities, hope, right? And so aim for higher than just surviving. You can live, you can be happy, you can thrive, you can grow, you can make so much more out of your life than just existing. Okay, let me see some comment already. Who are you? Hello, Didi. I hope you're doing well. I'm well. How about you? Thank you for asking. Jim Smith, are you from Laos? No, I'm not from Laos. Jim Smith, Didi can what? Ah, right, you troll. I'm going to give you a chance, right? Because maybe you don't know what I'm about, but I'm here to talk about mental health, to help people. So please be kind. I'm giving you a chance because maybe you may want to talk about yourself, and so that's what I want to do. But if I see more comments from you that are just silly, I will have to block you, I'm afraid. Fudu, hi, hello Fudu. Lee Tommy, how can I tell if my smoking is a physical addiction or if it's more about coping with emotions or past experience? And how do I quit them, cigarettes? So things are often not just this or that, they can be both. So you're asking, can I tell if it's an addiction or coping mechanism to deal with emotions and experience? It's the same thing. Addictions is when you do something and you can't stop doing that thing. You know that it's not good for you, you have tried to stop, but you can't. And this is all that it is. This is an addiction. And there are many different types of addictions. Cigarettes is one of them, but a lot of addictions are not necessarily to do with substances, but to do with habits. And so what we want to realize is that when we're addicted to something, the addictions exist for two reasons. Either as a coping mechanism to deal with stress. We think that is the only way we can use to feel better about ourselves in this moment, or to distract away from the stress or the boredom. We're not happy, we feel that something went wrong, we're not feeling at peace. Then we need to distract ourselves from that place by using some kind of distractions. And so cigarettes could be either of those two reasons, and it doesn't really matter. But how can we get rid of, how do we quit smoking? By addressing, and this is very relevant, this is very, not relevant, but this is very, I forgot the word. But essentially, we want to address the smoke and the fire. I was going to say it's very, I don't know, pertinent, I forgot the word. But in terms of cigarette, yes, there's a smoke. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make a pun. But the addiction is the smoke. The cause, the reason as to why you need an addiction, the overwhelm, the inability to deal with stress or boredom, is the fire. So we want to address both. So because I don't know you yet, I don't know what would be best for you. If you want to tell me more about yourself, we can discuss this. But smoking generally is often there to help us reconnect to a place that feels better. And so the way that I can explain this is that I had a lot of smokers coming for help, and I addressed every single one of them. Smoking is quite straightforward. It's not like other type of addiction can be more intricate. Smoking is quite straightforward. And more often than not, what I found is that when people are stressed out, the smoking is reminding them of a place, a time, or someone that they loved, somewhere where they felt safe, and basically it's a way for them to regulate their nervous system by reminiscing of that place, that time, or that person. So an example, if someone is overwhelmed, and let's say mum or dad or grandma used to smoke, then they will smoke because it reminds them of grandma or mum or dad. It's like having a virtual hug. But then there could be other reasons, but this is just an example that is quite common. Another one that is quite common with cigarettes is when people didn't necessarily have a happy childhood, and then at some point, maybe in their teenagehood, they started to go out and meet some people their age, going clubbing, and they smoked. And they felt that they belonged to a tribe. And so for them, that'd be a way, when they're again facing stress, to come back to that place where they feel that they belong, that they're not alone. Yeah. And so we want to address the fire, which is that, and the smoking. Why do you believe that smoking is the best thing that you can use to feel better about yourself? It could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be gambling, it could be anything at all. It can be shopping, it could be working, going to the gym. Why did you choose smoking? Ryan Kitley, what? What? Who are you? My topic today, update on age gap guy. Okay, long story short, we confessed our feelings. He went to a clinic for burnout for 2 months, slept with someone else and told me we should be platonic moving forward. Now he's dating her and still has feelings for me. We broke the platonic rule twice, oops, and he's torn between me and her. Okay, ... So let's see what else you're going to tell me about this. John Cotton. Oh, hello, John Cotton. Thank you for coming back. I remember you. Didi, your words always find me when I need them. Fantastic. Thank you, John. You have helped me realize that my overthinking is a trauma response, an attempt to control. Can you give me some advice on how to bring myself back in? I need to know more about you. So when you are overthinking, what sort of stuff, what are the patterns? What do you overthink about? Does it happen always at the same time? Is it always about the same sort of thought? Tell me about what sort of overthinking we are addressing here, please. Because overthinking is a big scope. Who are you? I am in love and can't get over him, and he's sort of using her to distract himself from me because I told him I am done now, but he did that after confessing his feelings. Okay? ... John Cotton, my body and stop overthinking. What do you mean? So I'm asking you, I don't, you're completing the sentence. Can you give me some advice on how to bring myself back in my body and stop overthinking? So again, I'm waiting for you to tell me more about what sort of overthinking so that I can give you something useful. Lee Tommy, I started smoking for relief. It felt like an easy way to handle stress and quiet my thoughts without talking about them. Okay, but here's the thing. Why do you believe that cigarettes gives you relief? This is what we want to explore. Lee Tommy, over time, smoking became comfort. I use it when I feel overwhelmed, empty, or lost. It gives a sense of calm and control. Yes, I get it. I get it. Is there anyone in your past that you loved or that you love that used to smoke? Or is the smoke connected to somewhere safe or somewhere cool, somewhere where you belong? Smoking is never a problem. Neither is any other type of addiction. The main problem, the first problem, is why you need something to deal with stress, to deal with adversity, to deal with life. If you can do that, if you can face everything without needing something, then you don't need that thing. You may the smoking can sometimes disappear just like that, by just addressing the fire. The best thing for me to do, using the tools that I use, which is a different system such as hypnotherapy and regression, I address both. So we are safe. We're sure that we have addressed all aspects of the smoking. Yeah, could you find out, think about what are the positive associations that you may have about smoking? Who are you? And it kind of hurts that he's my best friend and I don't want to have feelings because he has got disorganized attachment, is mentally unstable, has addiction problems and PTSD and jobless. Okay, so what is the problem, Who are you? What would you like to achieve? If you could tell me that after that. So this is, and now I understand, I'm reminded of the situation. Can you tell me what would you like to achieve within that situation? Lee Tommy, now I feel I choose it not just for nicotine, but for emotional relief, routine, and a way to cope with deeper feelings. Yes, so basically you are explaining how it goes. It is all true. You never did it for the nicotine anyway. You did it for the feeling. Because no one would choose to put nicotine in the system because there's nothing positive about nicotine. Right? You understand that nicotine is the thing inside that we get addicted to. But you never choose to smoke for nicotine. You smoke because it makes you feel better, because it allows you to relax, to not think about that thing, or something like that, right? Emotional relief, routine also, yeah, and a way to cope with deeper feelings, yeah. So you are addressing this to cope with deeper feelings. What sort of feelings are we talking about? Can you share with us? What are the deeper feelings that you just wrote about? Who are you? I know he's no good for me, and logically I don't want him help. He even told me himself I deserve someone better long ago because I have worked on myself and lived genuinely and can't give me the same value, love back, love genuinely. So my answer to you is for you to choose the path of least resistance. I don't know what it is. Whatever is more important to you, whatever comes easier for you, is it easier for you, for your life, to let go of him or to stick with him? And whatever happens, see what happens one moment at a time. The problem is that we're expecting something that is finite. We're projecting some outcomes. I want to be with someone forever for the rest of my life. But we can never choose anything like that. All that we can choose is I want to be with that person in that moment. And hopefully it will last. And hopefully we will develop deeper relationship and bonds together. But we can't focus on the destination. And so focus on the journey. If it's important for you to be with him, regardless of the chaos, regardless of the confusion, regardless of all those things, go for it. However, it may not last. You may suffer. But it may still be something that you choose to have. You may choose to go through the roller coaster because for you it's more important. You can't help yourself. So just do it. Now, the logical advice is what you said. Don't, because it's bad news for the long term. But again, if your subconscious mind can't help, then go for it. But realize that it is very unstable. Don't have any hope for the long term. It may happen, but it may most probably not happen. Right? But if it's still something that is very important to you, and it seems to be because we've been talking about it for a long time, then go for it. If you can choose not to be with him, then don't. But if you cannot, if you're obsessing over it, then go. Because this is the lesson that will teach you how to, at some point, change your program and stop getting back into the sort of situations with the same sort of people who are unavailable to you. I hope it makes sense. It's about realizing that your life is made of moments. And we don't want to have control over life and having everything planned and prepared and knowing exactly what is going to happen. This is never going to happen. And this is what you are suffering from. Go for the adventure. Go for the thrill. Go for whatever that excites you in this moment about it. And at some point, something may happen and then you won't be able to do this anymore. Or it may last. And at some point you may think, that's enough. Enough is enough. I don't get what I really want. But I don't believe that we can really choose much in a relationship. When it comes to relationship, we are driven by our emotional state and by what we believe about ourselves. And so whatever template we have about our personality will dictate the people that we allow into our life. And so sometimes going in the wreckage is how we need to learn. If you can do it before, if you can decide not to, which is what I've been telling you for a long time, then this is what you want to do. But if you're not able to, it's because you're not able. It's not because you are stupid. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because you have a lot of emotional blocks that are subconscious. So if you wanted to get rid of them, the best thing to do would be to work with people who can address your subconscious mind. But in that capacity, through YouTube, the advice that I can give you is to just go through your life and remind yourself that nothing lasts forever and try to learn something positive out of any situation. And at some point, if you can learn how to listen to intuition, it may take some time, but you may actually decide at some point to change how you see yourself in a relationship so that this stops happening. Right? I don't know if it helps. Could you remind me if you have some conditions? I think you do because you changed your name, didn't you? You're not always who are you. But I think you have some diagnosis, haven't you? Haute Life 1000. I smoke and drink. I recommend you all stop being pussies and fashion your life after mine. Okay. Half-Life, this is not very kind. This is not very clever. It's not even very funny. I smile because because I'm an easy audience. So I laugh at anything. But this is actually bad taste because I'm creating that space to help people. So please be kind. If I see any more comments from you that are out of scope with what we are trying to achieve here, I will have to get rid of you. But I want to give you a chance. If you didn't realize, I'm here to help people. So if you want to talk about something, I'd be happy to help you as well. Okay. John Cotton, I feel that if I talk about my overthinking, it will cause me to get stuck in a loop of overthinking. Yes, overthinking is that. It's a fire. The more you throw things inside, the bigger it gets. So when you're overthinking, you can never choose to stop overthinking because your brain is designed to think. It fills up the gap. It doesn't like stillness and emptiness or silence. What you can do is to choose better thoughts instead. Because if you choose not to think, your brain, since it can't process the negative, you may think, I don't want to think about this, I don't want to think about this, I don't want to think about this. All he's going to get is this, because he doesn't know what don't means. It just processes immediately whatever images that you give him, that you give it. And so don't try to stop overthinking. What you can do is to choose a better thought instead. So we can talk about this, but I'm still waiting for you to tell me about what sort of overthinking we are dealing with. Please, John. Hot Life 1000. Okay, I give you, I set a boundary. You didn't respect it, and so I'm going to hide user on this channel. Okay, so now all his or her comments are disappear, are not visible to us. And I did this to show people how easy it is to set a boundary. Whenever we meet trolls or narcissists or people who are not vibrating at the same level in this moment, who are not respectful, all we have to do is to tell them, if you keep doing this, I'm going to do that. And then when we keep doing this, we do it. That's it. Simple. No more trolls. And you can do this in your own life as well. Lee Tommy, I used to burn myself from cigarettes. Several cuts and wounds are here on me, but I've stopped harming myself. I don't know, something is broken in me. Okay. When we are self-harming, we do this because it gives us a sense of control and agency over our life. We don't do this to hurt ourselves. We do this because we can feel something and we are in charge of that feeling. So it's not about the cigarette. Now it's a whole different conversation. It's about some form of depression. Do you believe that you have some depression going on in your life? Tell me. Who are you? I want to get over him, and we promised each other friendship no matter what. We both mean it truly, but also it hurts laying next to him and him being on the phone with her. So this is the thing. Listen to your body, listen to how you feel, and choose your path of least resistance in this moment. What is easier for you? Is it easier for you to stay there with the pain, even though it sucks? Or is it easier to say, ciao, bye-bye, that's enough, hasta la vista, and then part? As long as you have those feelings, you cannot be friends. It's not possible. And so with that in mind, which is easier for you? There's no right or wrong answer, only you knows. But you have the choice. Every day, every moment, you can choose to stick with him or to leave. The choice is always available to you, no matter what happens. So this is something that you may want to keep in mind. Who are you? And telling me all the things we wanted to do together, and he's doing everything he promised me with her. Yes, I get it. Remember, you realize that you're doing this to yourself, right? You knew that it was going to happen. You knew that he was never going to give you all the things that you wanted from him, and yet you stuck with him. And so now if you stick with him still, remember, I knew that, and I get hurt. And it's still the same, and nothing's going to change, and I will still get hurt. What is my path of least resistance? Is it still to stay with him? Or did I have enough? Only you know this. Little me. For me, it wasn't just harm. It felt like control, release, or a way to deal with intense emotions. Yes, so this is what I said precisely. Self-harm is not harm, it's control and release and dealing with your intense emotions. Absolutely. So you know it. Little me, I connect pain with love and sacrifice, like proving devotion or depth of feelings. Sometimes I feel holding on to pain keeps the feeling or connection alive. Yep, I get it. Little me, I think I've confused suffering with meaning, like pain gives purpose to my emotions. I don't think, I don't really understand. Pain gives purpose to your emotions. Emotions, they have a purpose of its own. You don't need to have pain. I think it's more about the aspect of control. Who are you? We get to know each other in a really bad place mentally and build each other up. And we promised each other to never give up on our loyalty, friendship. Yeah, so that. But then again, if you're in love with him, you're going to suffer from that, right? You know this. So knowing this, I want you to realize that, remind yourself of this. You have two minds. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. This is what you think, what you know. This is what you feel, what you believe. This is your child's mind. You think we can be friends. It's going to be easy. We know who we are, but you feel different about it because your emotional mind wants more. You want to be loved. You want to be adored. You want to be the only one. And because of the discrepancy, you're suffering. Tell me, I want to understand why I link love, sacrifice, and pain so strongly. So we moved from smoking to pain, love, and sacrifice. I link love, sacrifice, and pain. This is a whole different conversation. We can go there if you want. Why do I link love, sacrifice, and pain? That's probably because you have a belief that tells you that. Maybe someone in your family or the thing that you observed as a child in your environment taught you that love was to do with sacrifice and pain. And it's not hard to see why. We live in a society that promotes this. Everything is about sacrifice and hardship. People always go, you must work hard. I'm proud of you if you work hard. And people celebrate people who work hard. Oh, they won. They deserve it. They worked so hard for it. And so we believe that hardship is a merit. And it's not. Hardship is one of the way we get to something, but not everything needs hardship in order to be glorious, right? And so sacrifice is the same thing. If your parents ever told you, we sacrificed everything for you, now you're going to feel, love means sacrifice. And it's only, and it's a limiting belief because now you're going to believe that nothing has any value. Nothing is good if it doesn't cost me hardship and sacrifice. And now you're going to, instead of sometime creating things without hardship, with ease, you're going to have to experience the hardship and the sacrifice because you believe that otherwise it's not true love, otherwise it's not true happiness, otherwise it's not a true success. Does it make sense, little me? Who are you? Little me, I used to be like that, okay? Vitamin full, how to cure bipolar disorder. Oh, I am diagnosed with bipolar since my early 20s. So we don't, with bipolar, we go through phases where we can either be very high on life and super over the top, and some phases that last weeks where we're super down, like mega depressed, and we have ideations, dark thoughts. And this is pretty much bipolar. Bipolar is not something that goes like that. It's more like that and that for a longer period of time. So you want to address the belief that started this all. So again, there are two aspects. You have the belief, which is psychological, and you have also the somatic memories, which is the imprints of an event in your body. So you want to address whatever trauma that has gotten you to develop or to exacerbate bipolar disorder. It's a process. It's very different for everyone else. There's not one thing, but I can tell you that. If you tell me more about yourself, we can address and talk about those things. We won't be able to address everything, but we can address the biggest thing. If you find the right therapist, they can address the main triggers, the main belief, the main blocks that are creating the most problem in your life now. And after that, you spend the rest of your life upgrading all the other little things. But there is one belief that is getting you to feel very depressed about yourself. And this is what you want to address. Yeah. Literally, I've been living alone in solitude as I don't want to turn bitter to others. Okay? Learn how to do things for yourself. Remind yourself that this is your life. You don't live for others. You're not coming into this planet to please others. You're here to live your life. Now, if you don't know how to be someone that others can enjoy, you can learn how to do this, right? And we can talk about this again. I'm going to be here for another 1.5 hours. If you want to tell me more about yourself, I'm sorry that you feel that you have to live alone. Sometimes we also live alone because it's easier for us to live alone rather than deal with the chaos and not understanding the rules of society. But do you believe that you have any diagnosis, Litami? Do you believe that you may be neurodivergent? Who are you? Used to be omnum. Okay, I remember omnum. PTSD, very probably on the spectrum and borderline tendencies. Okay, right. So now that I remember that you were omnum, I remember that you have a lot of baggage and you've done a lot of work on yourself. But now we're only talking about symptoms. You're having that attachment with that guy, and it's not about addressing that. It's about addressing the CPTSD, the borderline, and potential ADHD or autism. This is what you want to address. Again, fire and smoke, you're talking about the smoke. What you're talking about is what would happen if you had your conditions. If you're borderline, you would be experiencing limerence. They tell me, my tears long for her ocean, yet knowing it is no more sea, but a goddess sacred water. They dare not fall, for how can something so mortal claim a place in the divine? That sounds very nice. I didn't get it all. I'm going to repeat it, try it one more time. It sounds lovely. Let's try again. My tears long for her ocean, yet knowing it is no more sea, but a goddess sacred water. They dare not fall, for how can something so mortal claim a place in the divine? I don't understand, sorry. My mind is not into poetry mode right now. But it sounds lovely. But I'm not sure what you're trying to say with this, Litami, I'm afraid. UTBR, love you, Didi. Thanks for sharing with us. Of course, thank you. Dawn Woodland, I'm very lonely due to a very bad time in all ways, please. Okay, so tell me more about yourself. Pray in the name of Jesus. I have bipolar 2. I'm sure of it. Best food for it, etc. It's awful thing to have. Okay. So praying is something that some people do to regulate the nervous system with. For some people it works. For some people it makes things worse. So it's a tricky one. So what makes you say that you believe that you may have bipolar, Dawn? Do you want to talk about this? Josie Pavukelik. Hi, Didi. Hello, Josie. Fudu. If someone is a gambler, do they have legal capacity to make financial decisions? Legal. I don't know if they have anything legal. I'm not a lawyer. If someone is a gambler, do they have legal capacity to make financial decisions? Are you saying that if someone is diagnosed as addicted to gambling, can they make financial decisions? I don't know about this. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. What I do know is that if someone is a gambler, gamblers come in many sizes and shapes, so it depends. Some people are gambler and they are very good with their money, they are very good with their numbers. I know some people who are professional poker players and they do very well, and they've been doing it for a long time. And other people are not so good, they are addicted, and that's problematic. I'm not sure I understand your question, Fudu. Is that what you wanted to know? I think the main thing to realize is that like everything, gambler is not just one thing. There are many ways to be something, right? So what are the precise thing that you want to talk about the gambling? Assume is the addiction, right? Parisa, how do I process anger about something I feel was unfair and change my body permanently? So nothing is changed permanently. Anything can be corrected in some capacities. Now there are some exceptions. If you had severance, now you don't have the part anymore, so you can't do any more about this. But what I'm trying to say is that the body has more power than we think it has, as far as adaptation and healing is concerned. So we believe that sometime I have something and now I can never heal or cure, because this is what the doctors and people tell us. But there are so many stories proving people wrong. A lot of miracles happen. So there are miracles, there are still exceptions, but they still exist. And so nothing is definitely, absolutely, certainly certain not to happen, right? Now, having said that, how do I process the anger about it? You learn how to practice acceptance. Accept that this is what you have to deal with for now. Now, if you have something that is genuinely proven to be impossible to heal, let's say your legs get cut, you can't grow your legs back. Although in the future you may have some robotic legs, so we never know. But if you have something that you know you can't change right here and now, learn how to practice acceptance. Accept that this is what you have, and realize that we suffer from our expectations. We suffer from comparison. We suffer from, I used to be like that, or some others can do this, but I cannot. And because of that, we are suffering. But if we could change the way we look at things, we could not only feel better about ourselves, but even be happy. Because, let me give you an example. So again, in real life is different. It's only an example, but it's also an example for some people for whom it was their real life. Someone may have a car accident and lose a leg. Now, you can have two potential directions. One may say, I can never be happy again because I don't have a leg, because I always wanted to play basketball and I can never play basketball without that leg. And that person is going to go into depression and get worse and worse. And the other alternative is that some people may say, I don't have a leg, but I still have two arms. I'm going to learn how to do Paralympian basketball, and I can still compete. I can still play. I can still challenge myself. I can still feel the excitement of being in a team and playing and even making a career out of it. And so it's about where you focus your mind on. Acceptance is realizing that you have what you have, and within what you have, there's always a way to feel a little bit better about yourself, as much as there's a way to feel a bit worse about yourself. Think about a coin. Whatever situation in your life, there's always two sides to it. There's one side that can make you feel better, and there's one side that can make you feel worse. And so if you compare yourself to before you had the accident, or if you compare yourself with others, or if you compare yourself with the version of what you want to, what you would like to be in order to achieve the dreams that you had, that is the version that will make you feel worse about yourself. But if you look into the things that you can do, the things that you can be grateful about, if you can train your mind to practice gratitude, no matter what you have, this is where acceptance becomes something that you can tolerate, and eventually something that you can even enjoy. And also there's the element of time. Life is made of time. And so something that is not happening now doesn't mean that it may not happen at some point in the future. So always tell yourself, this is what I have for now, and I can still find a way to be happy about this for now. And at some point, things may change. Life is made of surprise, and everything changes all the time. And so keep it open, keep your dreams open. You may not have exactly precisely what you want at the time you want it, but we can always create something that come close enough to our dreams, if we focus on that direction. So practice acceptance, essentially. All of this to say that some people may say, but I can never be happy after that thing that's unfair and change my body permanently. Well, in that case, look at other situations that are worse than you. Put things into perspective. Everything is a matter of perspective. Remember Einstein, everything is relative. This is precisely this. Nothing is a thing without a narrative, without a context. And so, again, the example that I gave, if I lose my leg, I can either feel depressed because I don't have legs, or I can remind myself, I got arms, I've got a head, I got vision, I can speak, I can feel, I can still do things. Right? Focus on what you can do, as opposed to what you cannot do, what you wish, what you want, what you desire. Accept that for now, this is what I have. Let's make the most of what I have. There's one guy that is very, very inspirational. I think it's Jean-Dominique Bobby. A French guy called Jean-Dominique Bobby, who was a journalist, and he was quite successful in his life. And then at some point he had an accident, a stroke. I thought it was an accident. Stroke, locked-in syndrome. I'm reading the stuff here on Wikipedia. So basically he was paralyzed. His whole body was paralyzed, except for one thing, one eyelid. So his mouth, arms, legs paralyzed, and but despite this, despite the fact that he only had one eyelid left, he wrote a book. It's quite amazing, isn't it? He still found a way to accept his thing and to make this happen. Someone was next to him and basically show him the alphabet, and every time they would point at the right letter, he would do this, and that would be the letter. So it was very laborious. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not easy, but it's possible to twist things around and to still do something out of what we have. So that was an extreme example. But there's another one. There's the guy with the iron lungs. Iron lung. Paul Alexander. That guy has polio, and he spent from the age of 6, he was in an iron lung machine. So only his head was sticking out, because otherwise he couldn't breathe. His lungs didn't work. And yet he learned how to become, I think he became a lawyer. And he became an author, and he lived a long life. He died in 2024, not long ago. He died at the age of 78. So he spent 72 years in an iron lung, in a machine that only allowed his head to come out. That's it. And so, again, those are extreme examples. But if you can get your head around that some people can still do something that make them feel complete and happy despite whatever they've been through that is unfair, that is limiting them, then you can realize, gosh, I can do so much more. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? And this will help you with practicing acceptance. Does it make sense, Parisa? Does it help at all? Sorgon, I just wanted to say thank you for all you project in this conversation and your short messages. Thank you, Sorgon. It's like a small mental treat. Sometimes that is all I need to go on, and it's a lot. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate it. Dawn, I have words, dreams of being fed by my ex and so-called woman. It's not good. I hear any ideas on this. Thank you. You have a very soothing voice. Good aura. Thank you. So I don't do dreams interpretation. I don't believe in them personally. I believe that some people, because here's the thing, there's a lot of different cultures, and a symbol means different things depending on the culture. And because of that, that's why I don't believe in them. But I believe that if maybe you saw someone who had the exact same culture as you, maybe there will be some subconscious symbols that are universal within your culture. That could make sense. But the way that I see it is when it comes to dreams, it's not about what we dream of. It's how we feel about ourselves within the dream and how the dream unfolds. And so basically, whatever we go through the day, we have a lot of emotions. And dreams are about us processing the emotions we've been through the day. And it creates stories around it based on thoughts that are all over the place. But it's all about how you feel. So the example that I can give you is that for instance, for many years, I had nightmares because of my own problems. I was terrified with sleeping. I was terrified with sleeping because of the nightmares. And every time I sleep, I would dream of being chased by people wanting to hurt me. And then I would always wake up full of sweat and shaking because of the stress. And basically, this was my body telling me that I was still not healed from my trauma. And I still felt that I was not safe. So I felt that all day long, and this was translated into my dreams at night. But then I healed, I changed, and my dreams reflected that. There are dreams where I was in the same situation, I started to run, and instead of me starting to feel my legs were heavy and I couldn't move anymore, and my heart was starting to rise and I was starting to freak out, I would actually be able to run and accelerate. So that was the first stage. I would be able to run. So I was not waking up in terror anymore. But then the next phase would be at some point I would decide, why running? Let's stop running. I would turn and look around and there would be nothing running after me. And that's because I would have healed emotionally, and my dream will reflect that in my sleep. And so if you're saying you're being fed by your ex and the cold woman, maybe it's something to do with relationships. Maybe it's something to do with how you see yourself within your relationships. But the main thing what I would say is, how do you feel and what do you do? A lot of my old dreams, I get lost, and I always try to get back somewhere, but I'm always late, and I'm confused and I'm scared because I don't know where I am and I'm on my own. And very often now I'm back into those places, but the difference is that I can go home, or I'm thinking I'm late, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not such a big deal. I can go down the pub and chill out a little bit before I decide to do something else. And so it's about how you feel and what you decide to do in that moment. That's how I use dreams, personally. Little me, no, I have not been diagnosed with any disorder, okay? I would say do some work on yourself. Go and see someone maybe. I believe that you would benefit from that. So many of us, we have some undiagnosed conditions, and because there's always been so much stigma about mental health, and now things are starting to change. Dawn, I have all symptoms. My half sister has it. Okay. So are you talking about bipolar or about something else? Little me, like whatever I do in extremes before love. I was in friendship and such a friend that would raise me. When I got in love, I wanted to leave, not disappear, but after love, I wanted to leave, but invisible. So I don't understand everything because of the way it's typed. But what I get is that you do things in the extreme. So to me, it reflects some possible imbalance in the way your brain functions. And there'll be some conditions, either ADHD or some unhealed trauma. Because this is what those things do. It gets our brain to be very reactive, and it prevents us from being emotionally stable. When people are very reactive, when people get triggered and offended very easily, people don't realize that those are trauma response. It could also be them being stressed and overwhelmed. So there's that as well. But if it's a pattern, if it's always happening, then it's probably both. We don't want to judge people because they are sensitive, because they react easily, because they take things personally. We want to understand that there are reasons as to why they behave like that. And again, I know this very well because I used to be like that myself. For 38 years, I used to be super insecure, super reactive, triggered by everything all the time, and obsessing over these things all day, all night long, all the time. And it was never something to do with character or personality. It was always because of the system that we have developed in childhood, because whatever happened to us up to this point. Who are you? You are right about the smoke and the fire. The smoke is blinding. Honestly, that man is no bueno, and I'm better off without him. But oh well, tell that to my heart. So this is the thing, so you know it. So now what I want you to do is that next time you take a decision, no matter what it is, I'm not going to tell you what is right or wrong. You are in charge of yourself. So you know this and you decide, you know what, I'm going to stay with him because I really feel, because he's no bueno, but my heart tells me otherwise. You know what, follow your heart and you're going to get hurt. But know this before you choose that. I'm choosing to be hurt. I'm choosing to be disappointed. I'm choosing to let myself down. I'm choosing to do this and then do it. And eventually at some point you may realize, you know what, I'm going to stop choosing to do this because I had enough. Who are you? I've been taking it day by day. Sometimes I tell him I want to be left alone. Sometimes we chill on the couch, no problem. Sometimes I'm angry / hurt and tell him that too. Okay? But also know that he's manipulating you, right? He's manipulating you. He knows that you are in awe with him, and he knows that you have accepted that he will never let go of the other person. And yet you're allowing this. So you are allowing this into your life, and he is taking advantage of that. He will never say that to you, but he absolutely is. And so just be aware of that. Right? Dawn, you have a very calming voice and a good aura. Thank you so much, Dawn. Who are you? He's doing his best to listen and accommodate, like give me space, be there for me, and told me to tell him if there's anything he can do to lessen my suffering and help it in a way. No, it's not true. He's gaslighting you, he's manipulating you. If he wanted you to be better, he would let go of the other person and he would be with you. That's it. But he can't do that. He doesn't want to do that because he can have both. You are falling into his lies. If he really cared about you, he would choose you over the other person. And he didn't. And you know that it's never going to happen. So he doesn't care. He's just playing the game so that he can still continue taking advantage of you while being with the other person. Can you see this? Can you agree with me or not? Dawn, you have a very calming voice. Okay, so I read that already. Thank you. No, see, yes, I read that already. And the next one as well. Little message retracted. Little I can't sleep even at night or day, or even if I do, I sleep just 3 hours max. It's all after the breakup. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to get started because I need to find out. I don't know. Let's carry on. I need to know more about yourself. I don't want. I just have a lot of different problems that you have, and it sucks. I get it, but at this point in time, I don't know. I don't have enough to know where it comes from and what we can do about it, or more precisely, what sort of place it comes from. Josie, excellent to understand your emotions and the one that you do not understand or never felt. Excellent tool to understand your emotions and the one that you do not understand or never felt. Good tool to help name the triggers. Okay, good advice. We can still soldier on and make changes. Yes, I mean, changes are happening all the time anyway. We're all changing. The only reason we feel that we're not changing is because we're not changing in the way we want to change. But there's always something changing all the time. We're constantly fluctuating each moment from birth till death. So it's about understanding how to change in the way we want to change. The change is already happening. Change is easy. It's inevitable. It's the nature of the universe and everything within it. Scarlett, hi. Parisa, gratefulness, perspective, and acceptance. Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you. So gratefulness, I call it gratitude. Acceptance, yes. Gratitude and acceptance are two very important skills that seem so silly, but they're probably the most humble yet most powerful skills that we can have. Gratitude, acceptance, mindfulness. Being here in the moment, and in this moment, practicing gratitude of what we have, that will allow us to accept our situation. And also, by accepting this moment, We are allowing for the next moment to come. If we don't accept this moment, we are holding us back into that thought, and that can prolong all the other moment. It can tarnish the rest of the day, the month, the week, the year, all of our life. So thank you, Parisa. Regina Reg Nicholson, thank you, sir, about the manipulation. Funnel, he would choose me over his substance. Yes, I agree. I was talking about manipulation in regards to who are you's conversation. When you say substance, you're meaning addiction. People, this is a different conversation. Are you implying that someone is with you, but they are choosing the drugs or the whatever addiction substance over you? Because this is not a choice. This is different. Again, I used to be addicted myself up to the age of 38. So it's a very, very important topic for me that I know very well. When people are addicted to drugs or alcohol, they don't choose. It's never a choice. They're not choosing this over you. They're just choosing to stay alive, essentially. When we're addicted to drugs and alcohol, it's not because we're weak. It's not because we're easily tempted. It's because we suffer so much that there's no other alternative. We discover something that is amazing. In that moment, I don't feel the suffering anymore, so I'm going to go back to that place. And anyone who would be in that shoes would do the same. And so I'm not sure if this is what you mean, Regina, but if someone is addicted to drugs or alcohol, they're not choosing it over you. They just want to be here without the suffering. That's all. We can talk about this if you want. Josie, the wheel of emotions. I use it in my therapy. Okay, very good. Who are you? Well, we said all goals is friendship, but I thought the same as you. Maybe you just want to hold me there in case he gets bored of the other, or in hopes I take him back someday. I told him he has therapy ahead of him and a lot to learn, and that I would think about it maybe in a few years if he grows as a person, but that I believe that it will not be the case, and that I can't do a half relationship or half love. Okay, so you know, so don't stop, right? I don't even want a romantic relationship after what happened to my ego. Is too proud for that. Okay, so in that case, you know. I think we talked about it many times in the past, didn't we? I did tell you that it was not a good idea. And so, yeah, you know what to do. Regina, yes, he is in addiction. Thank you, sir. Oh, suffering. Thank you for. Okay. So when we get addicted to drugs or alcohol, it's a different level of addiction than TikTok or something like that, right? People who are addicted, we have a propensity for addiction. We fall into the trap because for us, it's not the same experience as other people. And the analogy that I often say is that it's like having lived in hell all of your life. And suddenly you discover something that can get you to experience heaven for one moment. Anyone will go back there. This is what we do. And very often I say that if it was not for my addictions in the past, I would not even be alive now. And so if you live with someone who is addicted, it's important to realize this, and then you make your choice. You don't have to stay with that person. Not everyone is able to deal with someone who is addicted. That's very heavy. You need to have a lot of understanding of the condition, a lot of compassion and patience as well. And so don't stay with someone if it doesn't work, but you don't have to judge them. Don't feel that it is because they are choosing the drug over you. No one is ever doing that. This was for Regina. Anonymity. Have you ever published any books? Yes, I've been published 10 times. Here and there. I don't know if you see it. But it's only a participation. I only write one chapter with a bunch of other people. So these are old work, right? Now my thoughts have evolved from that a long time ago. And I'm working on my first full book. But with all those books, basically with a group of people who are connected to mental health in some ways, we used to choose a topic. And every single one of us will bring one chapter to that book. So the first one we did was called Anxiety and Us, is the and Us series. Was Anxiety and Us, and then Sadness and Us, Anger and Us, Fear and Us, Authenticity and Us, Overwhelm and Us, grief and us, addiction and us, neurodiversity and us, and writing and us. The last one is slightly different because the publisher liked that, so we decided to do that for her. But if you want to read some stuff that I've done, it's there. It's not, it's far away from who I have become since then. However, it was the best that I was then, but we keep on expanding all the time. And I think that if you really have interest into what I do, wait for my next book. It will be more reflective of what I think now. It's a long project. I don't know when it's going to come out. I've been working on it all my life. I've got many books in my head. I'm obsessed with that. So at some point, I will come up with my own full-on personal book, and then I will make sure that everyone knows about it. And it's about understanding the nature of reality, understanding our mind, understanding how we can change everything in our life, and also, as we change ourselves, changing society itself. But if you want to buy those books, they are available on Amazon, and all the proceeds go to charity. So I don't get any money from that. We support 2 charities for homeless people. The one in London is the big issue, and the one in Singapore, I forgot what it was, but it's for homeless people as well. So if you want to contribute to a charity whilst reading about some aspect of mental health from the perspective of many different people, check it out. On my website, at the end, there's a list of those books, and you can find them on Amazon. And if you want to find my website, there should be a link to it on my profile. But thank you for asking. But also, the books that I write are very different from my short post, right? I think people expect me to do a lot of snappy, short little things, and this is not what I do. I just take a topic, and I talk about whatever comes in my mind in that moment about that topic. That was for anonymity. Scarlett, I feel like people always misunderstand me because of my ADHD. Yes, most probably. Unless someone is ADHD or neurodivergent like you, most people, most neurotypical, will not understand you. They may grab some intellectual understanding of you, but there's a huge difference between understanding something at an intellectual level and at an emotional one. And the difference is that I may understand that you don't do things on purpose. You're not lazy, you're not stupid, you're not choosing to be late. But emotionally means not being disappointed by you, not expecting you to still do it. And this is the difference. A lot of people, they understand here what it is to have ADHD or something else. But then when it comes to live with you and interact with you, the way they feel about you will still resonate their old expectation of you to be somehow normal. So I feel like people always misunderstand me because of my ADHD, my family as well, actually, and most of them are ADHD as well, but they have so many expectations of me. Sometimes people have ADHD, but they don't want to accept it. So people who are older, for instance, they may be on the spectrum, but or they may not want to be diagnosed. If someone has ADHD and they know they have ADHD, they will get you. If they don't get you, it's because they haven't accepted it about themselves. They're still trying to be something else, but they're not. Addressing ADHD is accepting that this is who I am, and this is what I can do, and this is what I cannot do. And so love me or leave me as I am. Don't expect me to be different. And so if you say that your family, some of your members of family have ADHD, but they don't accept your ADHD, it's because they have not accepted their ADHD. If they had, they would accept you. They would get you. Would you agree with me, Scarlett? Who are you? All right, Didi. Thanks for helping me sort this out. Okay, I'm glad that something that I said was helpful. Thank you. I'm looking forward for some time next week or whenever for you to tell me how it went. Anonymity. How can I get out of this stuck mode? I feel my entire family all died at 36. I'm 39, been going to therapy, recovering from addiction through Matt, but Greg is horrible. I don't know if I can live alone. I'd say keep on working on yourself. Find the right people with the right tools that can make you feel better about yourself. ADHD is not a plague. It's not a thing that you need to get rid of. It's just an understanding of how your brain functions. And a huge part of ADHD is acceptance. Accept that this is who you are. What you are is beautiful, is amazing, is special, is unique. It's got some limitations, but it also has some talent, some qualities, some ease. So it's about understanding the whole of it. And then surround yourself with the right people. So if your family is constantly putting you down, for instance, I don't know if that's the case, but if that's the case, then spend less time with them. Find your tribe. There's plenty of people like us out there. Find people who can see you and love you and accept you for who you are without you having to do anything at all. Because we've been through what you've been through, so we get you. There are plenty of us, really. Find them, and then you realize, you know what, there's nothing wrong with me. They judged me because they were ignorant, or maybe because they were scared of addressing their own symptoms. But it's got nothing to do with me. It doesn't say anything about me as a person and human being. Regina, thank you for your heart. Regina, thank you, sir, about addiction. He wants me doing the same. I cannot. I would love to help and support him, but he will not. And he said he doesn't care. We were old friends in our 20s and fell for each other then. I decided 5 years later, not my life addiction. Okay, so it's a friend of yours. So if your friend doesn't want to change, you don't want to keep trying to change them. It's their life. If you choose to be, if you care for them as a friend, be there for them and listen to them and accept them as they are instead of trying to get them to change. But if it's too difficult for you, then it's better for you to create a space. For some of us, it's very hard not to try to change others because this is what we believe we are. It's a sense of it's part of our personality. Regina, I feel the same. How are you? Okay. Dawn, thank you. I have sorrow. It's not finished. Let's see. Who are you? I need to go now. I wish you a wonderful evening and thanks again. Thank you, Who are you? And I'll see you next. And I'm looking forward for more news about your adventures with that guy. Maisa, can you help an ADHD person to fix their memory issues? Yes and no. And so we have short-term memories because it is the way our brain is designed. We have a very sensitive brain that is constantly scanning and scrutinizing our environment for safety. So what it means is that sometimes if we are stressed out, if we are not in a certain state, which is more often than not, it will be impossible for us to remember what we're doing. So let's say I read a book. I may be reading the book, and after 10 pages, I can't remember anything that I've read because my mind was constantly, again, scanning my environment, thinking about something else, seeking something else. And so the way we can address this is by creating systems that support us. So the first thing we want to do is to limit our exposure to stress. Lifestyle, environment, so that we are optimizing our chances to focus on something optimally. But even though it may not be possible, because ADHD is a spectrum, we're all different. And so my advice for this sort of conversation is for anyone with ADHD to do things that they enjoy. Find a way to make this their living, their thing. Find things that stimulates them and excite them, that stimulates them positively. Because this is the thing with ADHD. One of the ways that I explain it is that it's very hard, if not impossible, for us to do things that we don't want to do or that we don't see value in, at least from an emotional standpoint. But the other side of the coin is that we're able to hyperfixate on things that we love. And if you can find what excites us now, piece of cake, like me, I'm obsessed. Because of my ADHD, I'm obsessed about anything to do with psychology, mindset, and therapy. I think about it all the time. I write about it. I create content. I look after my clients all week long. I talk about it with everyone and anyone that I meet at the gym, in the park. I am obsessed. But it's a great thing. It's easy for me because I love that. And it allows me to become better at what I do because I'm always thinking about it. So even when I'm dreaming in my sleep, I'm still thinking about those things. And sometimes I need to have a break from it because otherwise it's too much. So I have to consciously force myself to go on Netflix and watch a whole season of a series to clean my mind of any of those thoughts. And then after that, bang, I'm back onto the train. And so, how can we help someone with ADHD to fix their memory issues? By choosing something that you love, essentially. That'll be my first answer. Now, if you want to have some hacks, it's possible. There are some hacks for students, for people who need to deliver something, but you don't want to use those hacks and make it your lifestyle because you will be burned out. It takes a lot of energy to do those things. So just based on that simple question, few words, my first answer would be for you to question and reassess your whole life. When people say ADHD is a superpower, I say this as well. I believe it. But it's only superpower if you understand it and you know how to use it when and where. If not, it is a curse. Because society is neurotypical. So it's not designed for people like us. Does it help, Maisa? Scarlett, is it normal to feel like, thank you for your heart, is it normal to feel like I'm neglecting a part of myself by trying hard to be on time or to keep clean, for example? It is normal to feel like I'm neglecting a part of myself by trying hard to be on time, to keep clean. You're not neglecting a part of yourself. I see what you mean. I can see why you would think like that. You're thinking, maybe I'm trying too hard to please others, to fit in, and to be normal for society. So I am denying my own authenticity. So in that sense, yes. But it's not about the cleaning. It's about you trying to fit in. Right? I hope it makes sense. I'm not saying don't wash yourself to be authentic, not at all. It's don't force yourself because you have to do something. Create an environment and a lifestyle where it's easy for you to do it when you feel like it, how it's easier for you. And then you can make it happen, but without having you to think, I have to do that thing. The more you are putting pressure on yourself, the pressure will trigger any of your ADHD symptoms. Stress and pressure are what inflames our pre-existing conditions. So that's why it's so important to really address them. So if you have to be on time, that's the tricky thing. Again, yeah, create a lifestyle where you have no stress and pressure and when you enjoy what you like to do. It may take many years for you to make this happen, but this is the goal. And when you do that, then it's going to be easy for you to organize yourself around yourself. Anonymity. You should have guests on your show that talk about mental health and people in the field you work with, like a podcast. That would be cool. Maybe at some point in the future, but at this point in time, this is keeping me busy enough. And also I'm doing this out of my free time. I do have a practice. I see people all week long. I work on my books and my content as well. So at this point in time, that works for me. But you know what? I do appreciate that idea. And maybe at some point, I will do something. I will take it to the next level and have a podcast and have some guests. But at this point in time, that works for me. Thank you for the suggestion, nevertheless, anonymity. Regina, thank you, Didi. I am new and I appreciate, and thank you, sir, for your answers. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe so that if you enjoyed this, you can be reminded of my next live and we can continue these conversations together. Dawn, I have surrounded by energy drainers all my life. It drains you. I suffer from lymphedema. Also, not many people know this. It's a blockage in lymphatic system in the leg, and sure, stress won't help. So you said it. Focus on the things that you can do, and realize that if you feel worse because of stress, there's something you can do. Address that stress. You may not be able to change your whole health, your whole system, or not right around now the whole of it, but you can still do something. So focus on what you can do. I always talk about it like that. There are 3 things that we can do in regards to everything. Number 1, address the emotional triggers, the subconscious blocks and filters. Number 2, address our lifestyle. which is, do you sleep well? Do you eat well? Do you move? Do you meditate? Do you spend time in nature? Do you do things that make you happy? Do you socialize and all of those things? And number 3, environment, as in stress. At home, at work, in your mind, what sort of thoughts, what sort of energy do you subject yourself to? And choose an environment that supports you. I, for instance, because of my conditions and know my limitations, I've created a lifestyle for me. And that allows me to be happy and do all the things that I want to do. But I couldn't, just 1 second, please. But I couldn't have a 9 to 5 anymore. I couldn't take the public transport. I couldn't do all of those things on a regular basis because it's too draining for me. I have to put a mask. I have to I've done that for a long time, and it affected my whole health, my digestion, my skin, my vision, my hearing, my sleeping. So many aspects of me. I've been seeking help for years and years and years, and it was all triggered by stress and anxiety because of me trying to mask, to fit in, to be normal, to be on time, to be normal for everyone else. So I don't know if you do any work on yourself, if you have any kind of support, but if you don't, at least you can work on your lifestyle and your environment. That's 2 out of 3 already. Scarlett, I really appreciate you and what you do. You bring so much light to the world. All right, thank you so much, Scarlett. That's very kind of you. Josie, you mentioned you had nightmares. I suffer from insomnia due to the same reason. I'm terrified to go to sleep because I wake up with horrible pain and tiredness. Any suggestions? I would need to know you. It can be anything at all, right? I didn't fix my nightmares by addressing my nightmares. But my nightmares fixed themselves as I fixed my depression, my anxiety, my rage, my anger, my self-hatred, my disconnection with the world, my disconnection with myself, with my body, with my feelings, with my emotions. As I did that work on myself, as a byproduct, my dreams went better. And so if you have nightmares and insomnias, you have some things to do. I don't know what it is, but it's for you to find out what are the unhealed wounds from the past that you must address. Josie, I have medications, but sometimes they do not work. I wouldn't go that way. Medication never fixes the reason as to why you have nightmares or insomnia. They only get you stoned, that's it. And so with any medications, your body will get accustomed to it and we need more. And then you are creating more problems for yourself. I used to try some of them, but because I have a history of drugs addiction in the past, it didn't do anything to me. I could have like 20 packs and still like that all night long. And so it's really about addressing your root cause as to why you can't sleep. What is your mind trying to protect you from by overthinking, by replaying all those things in your head? Josie, I enjoy being awake at night because I have peace and quiet. All right, so that's a different thing. So nothing is just this or that, but there's also the fact that for some of us, like me, again, ADHD, I enjoy nighttime. So if I have to wake up early, I can create this and make it happen. But sometimes I go through phases where I go bed very late. Because indeed, for many of us, it's the time of the day when it's quiet, when it feels safe, when we can think. The rest of the day, I cannot think because there's too much distraction, too much noise, too much movement, too much confusion, and I'm always everywhere and I can't focus. I forget things all the time. Even when I go to the gym, I have systems. I go there when it's quiet, I've got my earmuff. And when I take my stuff, I need to remind myself, okay, I am scanning my locker, it's empty. All of it. I'm scanning the bench where I hang my stuff, it's empty. I've got my phone, my keys, da 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 da. And then once I've done that, and I focused intensively, then I can leave and feel sure, okay, I'm not leaving anything behind this time. But if I go when it's busy, even when I'm trying to do that, it's not possible because there's just too many people. And so what I'm trying to say is that I understand that. Many of us, at night, we can finally think. We can hear our thoughts. We can invite ideas, inspiration, imagination. We feel good. We're reclaiming some quality time with ourselves, as opposed to constantly being under stress because of our environment. And so it depends what sort of lifestyle you have. Again, I have phases where I'm very good. I can wake up very early. I can literally wake up at like 4, even 3 a.m. in the morning for like weeks. Sometimes 7 more like normal hours. But some of the times, like at the moment, I'm going in bed quite late, I have to say, because I enjoy writing and working at night. It's a very different state. So it depends what works for you, and it's for you to tweak, to understand what you can do and tweak your life around yourself. Regina, wow, Didi, I understand you. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Regina. Scarlett, what is the tattoo on your throat? It's a sacred heart. There was a flame here, but it's gone now after the years because of washing the skin. But it's the heart of Jesus. And I did it when I was a musician. I used to play music and sing. And so I did it to kind of bless my voice when I was singing. I don't sing anymore, but I talk a lot. And so it still has the same meaning. I think that I like to feel that it's like me putting some importance into the things that I say. And so it's blessing my words somehow. I'm not Christian, but I'm very spiritual. Maisa, I wish you all success. Thank you, Maisa. John Public, you have a calming demeanor. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate this. I've changed a lot. I was not always like that. Again, because of my conditions, I used to be very loud, very noisy, very boisterous, very all over the place when I was high. And when I was down, I was very timid, introvert, shy, like scared of everything. So I would fluctuate. But I've changed. And also, I started my career in 2017. So I believe that I have morphed into what I do, essentially. And so my voice used to be very different. I used to shout all the time. And now, just because I look after people, I think it's the sort of voice that comes naturally when I deal with people's problems. And so that has become my new way of expressing myself. And I'm always surprised when people say that you're very calming, because I'm still getting my head around this. The way that I see myself, I think I still see myself as someone that can be very socially disruptive, but I'm no longer, and I stopped doing a long time ago. But there's still a part of me that is still trying to get used to my new self that I've been for a little while now. Don, thank you. Not many people are aware of lymphedema. I was not. You know what? I'm going to check it now. Lymphedema. It's a long-term chronic condition that causes swelling in the body's tissues. It can affect any part of the body, but it usually develops in the arms or legs. It develops when the lymphatic system does not work properly, okay? I'm sure that you have help with that, and I wish you all the best with that. Now, be aware that there's also sometimes other things that you can do about this. Right? Any chronic conditions that we have are very often connected to some emotional unhealed wounds. So this is where therapy, this is where hypnosis can help you with some physical conditions. I have helped people with restless legs syndromes, with Hashimoto, with all sorts of different things. So it's not just what I do that helps them, but it's something that can be added into the arsenal of the things that we do in order to heal, and that helps. Something to take into consideration, perhaps. Hello, hi Didi. Thank you for everything. How do you think we could help someone in family with chronic pain and sudden attacks from his autoimmune sicknesses? He's tired. I don't know. I would need to speak to that person, because there's all sorts of reasons as to. First, I don't know what they have, but also there's a lot of reasons as to why they may have that thing, and they're also a different priority for different individuals. So basically, when we have a lot of chronic pain, sudden attack from autoimmune sicknesses. There could be many things happening. And so we want to look at all the things that we have to deal with and find out what is the priority for that person at this point in time in the healing journey. So we need to speak to them to find out more about, right? I want to help, but for me, it's the sort of questions that sounds like, help me, I'm in pain, but I don't know what it is. I need to have more details, I'm afraid. We need to know about their mindset as well. What do they believe about their sickness and their ability to heal or not? All of those things are very important to take into consideration. Angela, hi Didi, do you think that repeating affirmations or doing similar things are useful to attract the partner or people you want into your life? It depends. We are first emotional and then we are conscious. So if your affirmations are aligned with how you feel about yourself here, then there's a chance that you may make this happen. But if there's a discrepancy, your emotions will always win. And so your conscious mind is 5% of your mind, and your emotional mind, which is your body, your subconscious mind, is 95%. Whatever you do in terms of affirmations, happening there. If you say, I'm amazing, I love life, I'm happy, but you're depressed, it's not going to work. So what you want to do is to pay attention to how you feel and try to find out where you are on the emotional ladder. And then maybe create an affirmation that is slightly just there, not there. Because otherwise it will not happen. If there's too much difference. But if you can feel, let's say if you are anxious, instead of thinking, I feel amazing, you can tell yourself, I'm safe. As an affirmation, I am safe, right here right now, I'm cool. And that'll be enough to lift you from here to there. And safety is where you want to get at. The way that I often explain it is that we fluctuate in emotional state all day long, all the time. And in the middle, there's a line. It's the line of peace or the line of safety. Below are all the disempowering emotions. Sadness, fear, anger, jealousy, hatred, resentment, etc. On the top, joy, happiness, love, gratitude, creativity, hope, forgiveness. And we go like that all the time. And so in order to heal, we need to go from here to there. We need to spend more time there than there. As long as we're here, we can only survive. There is where we live and grow and thrive. So now I forgot what I was thinking. I was telling you that for, but I believe that it came for a reason. So hopefully some of you will make sense of that intervention. Yeah. So let's go back to what you were saying. So does affirmation work to attract the partner or the people that you want into your life? Only when you address how you feel about yourself. First, address your beliefs that are emotional and subconscious. No matter what you say, no matter what you repeat, no matter what you think, if you feel the opposite, you're going to create more unease in your body. Right? So it would not work. But again, if you feel good about yourself and you just need to have a little lift to the next thing, then you may make it happen. I follow a lot of people who talk about manifestation, addressing your body state. People like Dr. Joe Dispenza, for instance. And I love his work and the other ones as well. But they tend to omit that many of us have baggage. Whatever that you want to manifest, you must first heal. Because in reality, your whole life is the manifestation of how you feel. Your whole life is the manifestation of your emotional state. And so, as you heal, if you can heal yourself, now you're going to keep manifesting a better, a more healed, and a more complete version of your life subsequently. It's not about thinking what you want. It's about how you feel about yourself and how you can visualize yourself within different contexts. So if you can think about relationship, who do you believe you deserve? Do you believe that you are lovable? Do you believe that you deserve easy and everlasting love? Address first your emotional wounds. And then everything else will be easier for you to manifest, even if you don't think about it, even without visualizing it. Does it help, Angela? Regina, thank you, Didi. Yes, I am looking for new friends and creative groups. Example, walking women's group. Okay, that sounds great. A chant to new church. Oh, yes, nature too, grounding. Thank you, Didi. Okay, fantastic. Yes, nature, walking, and the church as well. If you have a church where people are nice and you have a community with whom you feel you belong to, fantastic. But if the church is full of people who are hypocrites and narcissists and self-righteous, it's not going to help you. Regina, my mask too is letting myself to be me. Not easy lifestyle. Yes, Didi, healthy walking in medications will be free from them down the road. Okay, I wish you all the best with that. I'm glad that you are considering letting go of them at some point. Scarlett, what about medication for depression to increase dopamine levels so you don't dip? So there's a place and a time for everything. I don't believe in drugs personally because I used to be a drug addict myself. So I have a terrible relationship with anything that is not natural. I only take drugs when I really need them. I do believe in science, but I don't. When I have some pain, I don't take anything. I allow for my body to. I have my own ways to deal with pain without painkillers. And so when it comes to depression, it does help with dopamine. However, everyone is different. For some people, it helps. Some people, it doesn't. So for some people, it makes things worse. And for many, it helps for a moment. But again, because we get accustomed to everything, at some point, you will have a higher dose. And at some point, it will become a problem. And so what it means is that if you feel that it can help you, go for it. But you need to have a strategy to address the root cause of the issues. If you just have the medications without a strategy, you are setting yourself up for problems in the future, more problems. But I know that for some people, it can help them for a certain amount of time, and it's still good. When people are really, really depressed and they don't want to be alive, it's better than not. Dawn, exactly you saying about work and traveling, and it is very draining. Many people don't get it. Yeah. Adam Maxwell, sir, I have one hand. It's tough going out thinking everyone is staring. Please believe in your own individuality. Yes, it's tough if you go in the wrong places. If you can find your tribe and people know you, and they can see you and they stop judging you or reacting to you being different, then it's not going to be tough anymore. If I go in a place where people are stupid and judgmental and nasty and angry and hurt, that'll be difficult for anyone. But we can all do something to upgrade our environment. That's what I'm going to say. But I understand that if you have to go in the world, sometimes people will stare at you. I'm sorry to hear. Do you have a prosthetic? I like to believe that there's more and more education about it. But of course, again, it depends where you go. People will stare at you because you only have one hand. If I go in the wrong place, people will stare at me because I have a tattoo or because I'm not white, right? There are all sorts of reasons. People will always find a way to judge people. It's about you finding the right place and the right people. Dawn, the world is becoming a very stressful place and I pick up people's energy and vibes. Any idea how to try and help this? Yes. So the world is becoming a very stressful places in places. Not the whole world is becoming worse. But if you listen to the news and you believe everything that they tell you, then it's not that you believe, because it's true that there are bad things happening. But if you believe that what they show you is all that there is, then you will believe that the world is getting worse. And it's not at the global level. In many places it's worse, but in many other places it's okay. If you look in the right place, then you will realize that you can focus your mind in places that makes you feel better about yourself. If you think about the war in Iran, the state of the UK or America or some parts of Europe, if you think about Palestine, if you think about all those places, it's going to be overwhelming. So I would suggest you to spend less time watching the news. I created a video about this on YouTube. Check it out. It's a long form video that I put out 2 weeks ago called How to Stay Positive in a Toxic World. And I talk about this precisely. And so spend less time, keep in touch with information, but don't spend too much time being sucked into it, because this is what makes us lose grip of hope. And then create systems so that you can choose what to entertain your mind with. Do things that you enjoy. Go for walks, listen to music, play with your dog, read some books that you enjoy, whatever. Be creative. Do things that changes your mental state, that gets you to focus on something that is positive. And that will allow you to not spend 24 hours thinking about the bad news and that the world is getting worse. The world is not getting worse. There's horror, there's a lot of injustice, terrible things happening, yes, sadly. But if you look at our species at a global level as a whole, we've been getting better and better all the time. Now it goes like that. So it goes more like that. At the moment we're at a low, but it's going better. Because even though it seems that history is repeating itself, it isn't. Because there's a difference. Thanks to technology and the new generations, people are starting to know, to see the truth. People are still trying to gaslight us and lie to us, but now we're realizing that we've been lied to about everything pretty much since the invention of media. But even before that, the church, religion, politics, anything, schools, education, everything was always designed to make us believe certain things, to run a specific narrative so that those things could keep happening. And now there's a whole generation that understands no more capitalism, no more patriarchy, no more this or that, no more imperialism. They are fighting against that, and that is the difference. And so, yeah, keep hope. Check my video down, if you can. CryptoPunks. I got into a very difficult state. Police agency here in US. 80 were chosen from 600 applicants. I got in and felt like I didn't belong. They wanted us to be all the same. I couldn't break my uniqueness for them, so I left. Was I wrong? No, you're right. You just said, I couldn't break my authenticity for them. You've made the good choice. You've chosen you over them. Over, I'm going to change who I am to fit into that group. And this is the best thing you can do. If you can't find a group that will accept you, create it. Start it. Well done, you. It's not an easy thing to do for most of us. But we want to really, sooner than later, realize that this is your life. So you want to self-realize. You want to find out who I am, who am I, what do I like, what do I prefer, and go in that direction. As opposed to trying to be accepted by some people who want us to be different. Reginald, Jesus did it for me too, did he? Good on you. I BK slide a year ago. I don't understand this. And I'm slowly would love to be centered in Jesus again. Okay, good on you. I'm not religious. I love Jesus, but I also love Allah. I love Buddha. I love Krishna. I love all of them, right? But if Jesus works for you, good on you. Make sure that you are hanging out with the right people, because there is such thing as religious narcissism. There's such thing as religious trauma, religious OCD. There's such thing as religious manipulation, religious psychosis as well. And so make sure that you are surrounded by people who come from the right place, who are kind, who come from a place of love and compassion, not from a place of control, manipulation, blame, shame, guilt, division, scapegoating, and so on and so forth. Right? But if you found a friend in Jesus and his friends, fantastic. This is what religion should be about. It's about creating communities of people who support each other. And I can see it with any religion. I have a lot of Muslim friends, and it's beautiful the way they interact with each other. I think it's amazing. And the same thing with any other, and even atheist. It's about tribes, finding your tribe, and basically accepting and supporting each other. So I'm happy for you, Regina. Regina, Didi, do you do ADHD assessment? Thank you. No, I don't. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm afraid. I'm a therapist. My specific titles are I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and an RTT therapist. But I can't assess you, I'm afraid. We can talk about this. I can go on Google, we can discuss this, but it's not within my scope of practice to do this. Dawn, I'm very sensitive and kind. I'm very sensitive and kind. This can be used against you. People see this as a weakness. So I'm going to correct you. It's not that people see your kindness as a weakness. Some people see your kindness as a weakness. Most people won't. However, if you don't change yourself, you will keep allowing and attracting the people who see kindness as a weakness. I hope it makes sense. Not everyone is there to stab people in the back, not at all. Some are. Some people have less empathy. So we call them narcissists, we call them psychopaths, we call them sociopaths, we call them sadists, Machiavellians. There's a lot of different labels are there, but they're different. They don't feel, they don't connect with you. And they are the people who are able also to sometimes, not always, it's not always just that. Sometimes we're conditioned also to dehumanize others. So some cultures are going to say that group of people, they're inferior, they're lesser. We can dehumanize, we can destroy them, we can mock them, we can do anything we want to them. So typically the others, racism, transphobia, ableism, sexism, all of those things and more, all those type of discrimination. And so those people who have those beliefs, all the people who lack of empathy, are going to be the one who are going to see your kindness as a weakness. They will take advantage of that. But most people don't. And most people, if I see someone who wants to take advantage of my kindness, I will see it. I'm kind to everyone as much as I can every day. But if I see that someone is taking advantage of my kindness or is coming with some sign of narcissism or hostility, I say, no, F off, go away. I wish you a good day, but F off. Not today, Satan. And just like that, it's done. If you feel that people are taking advantage of your kindness, it's because there's a part of you that is still allowing them to do this to you. We don't suffer from people. We suffer from us allowing them to stay longer than necessary into our life. And so you can work on that. What I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to victim you or shame victim blame or victim shame you. All I'm trying to do is to show you that you have more power than you think you do. You don't live in a place where, in a world where everyone is bad. There are bad people. But if you can change how you see yourself, you'll be able to spot them and to say no to them and allow everyone else in your life. I'm kind to everyone. If someone is not kind to me, I tell them to go away. And then I can still be kind to everyone else. It doesn't change me. If I'm worried about being kind, they have won over me. They have infected me with their fear. And I'm going to think the world is only divided in two categories, the predators or the prey. And I must be a predator. And I don't believe in that. I believe that I can absolutely be someone that is not either a predator or prey. I can be someone who chooses to be kind to people and yet set boundaries for the a-holes to keep away from my life, or something like that. I shouldn't say a-holes, from the people who are hurt. Easy, you are now breathing manually. I don't understand what you mean, Easy. Do you want to expand on that thought? Shanna Cotton, time goes so fast for me, probably due to my trauma and ADHD and autism. Is there any suggestion in grounding myself better during my daily life to make my day go more slowly? So this is mindfulness. There are plenty of them. There are tons of things you can do. Explore mindfulness exercises. So the first one that we all learn is to breathe mindfully. There's a system called 478. There's the square breathing. There's the circle sighing. There's plenty of different types of mindful breathing that you can do to ground yourself. And there are grounding techniques such as naming things that you can see and hear and feel in your immediate surroundings. There's some things that you can touch yourself, hug yourself. You can do some tapping. You can do some humming. There's a lot of things you can do. I did a video about it, I think. Let me check. I can't remember which one. I do so many things all the time, but there's one of my videos, it's not on the title, where I actually suggest different things that we can do to ground ourselves. But it's not about me giving you some stuff, it's about you finding what works for you, right? You can have a cold shower, you can go for a walk in nature, there's so many things we can do. Grounding yourself, it's a collection of habits that you want to develop so that eventually you don't need to do those things. They are your new way of being. But essentially being mindful, learning how to look and see and feel things around you and remind yourself, oh, right here, right now, I'm safe. Right here, right now, everything is fine. There's only now. And I can choose to either feel trapped in my thoughts and worry about the future or be angry at the past. Or I can learn how to reset my nervous system, come back into a state of mental clarity, and then, only then, remind myself that right here, right now, I'm fine. It's not that I don't want to tell you, it's that there's so many of them. Maybe what you could do is to tell me what you do already, and then I can suggest something on the top of what you are doing already. Shana Cotton. Angela, thank you for your explanation, Didi. It's very useful. Thank you so much, Angela. I'm glad it is. Shana Cotton, I play the color game and wriggle my toes. Okay, fantastic. So you know it. Well, what is red? I've got a red envelope here from Chinese New Year from a month ago. I've got a red ribbon and so on and so forth. You can do this, but then the next thing you want to do is this is the first level. What you want to do is to remind yourself of being present. So focus on where you are, how you feel, and then what you can do is to focus on what you are doing. So break down what you are doing into tiny little baby steps. So typically, you can think about the ceremony of the tea. Famously, Japanese people, they have a ceremony of the tea. And I don't know, I can't remember, but they break down serving a cup of tea in 23 movements or something like that. Every movement matters. And it sounds silly, but it's actually beautiful because it teaches you how to make something very ordinary, turn it into a celebration, into a festival, a party, into something very special. And this is what mindfulness is about. It's about zooming into the moment and making the most of the littlest things. So if you can enjoy, let me give you a simple example, a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in the morning. If you can enjoy watching the sunrise or the sunset, if you can enjoy just staring at a pigeon going on your windowsill, it's lovely, why not? I love doing this. All of those moments are precious and enjoyable. And this is what mindfulness is about. It's about you anchoring yourself into your immediate surrounding right around now and making the most of it all the time. So again, it depends on your emotional state and what you think here as well. But this is the goal. This is what we want to do. We want to realize that happiness exists right here, right now, through the practice of gratitude and appreciation, through the practice of presence, which is mindfulness, through the practice of optimism. Maybe things are not perfect right now. Maybe I don't have the things that I want, but I'm going to say, I don't have everything that I want yet. I'm not healed yet. I haven't found love or happiness yet. Because life is made of time. Time is made of moment. And each moment brings new options, new possibilities, new opportunities. And so just focus on what you have now. Make the most of what you have now, in the knowing that there's more moments with more possibilities. And this is how we make the most of our life. We know already what we want. But instead of focusing on what we want, we should focus on how we feel right here, right now. Find a way to feel good about ourselves. In the knowing and the anticipation that at some point things will get better. This is one of the ways we describe peace. We want to peace and happiness. We want to be at peace with the past. We want to be content about the present. And we want to be excited about the future. If you can get into that state, we're good to go. Regina, emotional ladder, thank you. Like keep a diary of each time of the day, such as sad, anxious, happy, just right time each day. Is it good thing to do? It's not what I meant. The emotional ladder is basically realizing that There's an order of emotion. Let me type it. I'm checking, I'm just Googling the first thing. So I've got a little chart here. So at the bottom, so there are different colors. It's just one of them, you know, people make up also different versions of it. But at the bottom of your emotions, you have fear, grief, despair, and powerlessness. And then gray, you get insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness. And then you have jealousy. And then you have hatred and rage. And then you have anger and revenge. And then you have discouragement, blame, worry, doubt, disappointment, overwhelmed, frustration, pessimism, boredom. And then you have contentment. So you are between the both. This is the line of safety I was talking about. And over that, we have positive expectations, optimism, enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness, passion, joy, appreciation, da 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 da. So basically, wherever that you are, aim at the one that is just above. Maybe go on Google and find out. That will indicate where you are and what is your next step to try to reach. As opposed to trying to go there from here, which is not going to happen because it's too far away. Tracy said hi. Hello, Kevin. Hi, Didi. Hello, Kevin. Regina, thanks, Didi, so much. May God give you loads of abundance. Thank you so much. You ask for in doing good, supporting others. You're a gift. Amazing. Thanks, Father God, for Didi. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving a good word to Jesus on my behalf. I appreciate it. Dawn, is that you and your wife in the photo? She's lovely. No, it's not. This is my parents, my mom and my dad. I'm married to a man. We've been together for 21 years at the end of the month. But these are my parents. It's my tribute to them. We didn't have it easy at start, but I've come to peace with that. It's my way to remind myself of our journey together. Kevin, feeling pretty good today. Did he enjoy your videos? Thank you. Dawn, exactly. Narcissistic predators and prey spot on. Kevin, boy, how are you? I'm sure that you don't mean it, but I find it weird that you're calling me boy. Where does that come from? Lifestyle chat. That's a great advice. Thank you. Student, happy Eid to all of those celebrating. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Happy Eid to anyone who is Muslim. We have a strong Muslim community where I live, and every year they give me food, and I love that because they are very good. So I have so I'm aware of that thanks to them. I mean, I'm aware of it because there's a lot of things that I can come across, but they are the first one to remind me through food about this. So yeah, happy Eid to all of you guys. Kevin, rusty with my French. Okay. Boy is not French, is it? I don't know. I don't understand. It's not important anyway. And so yes, it's 53 past 7. I'm going to stay another 7 minutes. I like to stay up till 8 o'clock if I can, just because I said so. I should be here from 6 to 8. So if you have anything else you'd like to talk about, now is a good time.
Imagine owning this class.
I forgot to put my post out on TikTok. Shoot. Let me do this now. My third post of the day. Gosh.
It's finally.
Okay. Anyone? Any last little topic for the road? Today is Friday. Is everyone looking forward to the weekend? Or struggling? I'm just making sure that I put it out. I'm going to just remind people what I do. I am on TikTok and on YouTube mainly. I'm also on Instagram lately. I just share some of my posts there, but lately I had some I had one video that went viral, and so now suddenly I feel like I should put more stuff there as well. There's a lot of people out of nowhere, and even Facebook, which is weird. But anyway, I'm a bit everywhere, but I'm mainly on TikTok and YouTube. TikTok is where I'm going to put my short videos first, and the following week they come out on YouTube. But on YouTube, I also put long form video weekly. So every week there's a new long form video, except for this week is the exception. I was burnt out. I had to take a break for once in 26 weeks. But now I'm back to normal, so I should be ready for another long form video next week. So if you have any theme you'd like me to address, just ask me. I'm more than happy to create video for you guys. For about 7 to 10 minutes long. And also I come live on YouTube every week for sure, every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. Unless it's very, very quiet and there's no one asking me anything, I should stay up till 8 o'clock. Sometimes I also go live on YouTube, on TikTok. But the live streams that I do on YouTube stay on my channel, so you can always replay them the following day. If I said anything that you find interesting, it takes about 24 hours for YouTube to fully upload the live streams, so you can replay them and retrieve whatever information you may find relevant for you. And that's it. Let me see. There's a comment here. Shanna, how do I get myself focused on a project that is emotionally draining? Let go of the pressure. What do you mean by emotionally draining? Is it because of the stress and the pressure, or is it because it's to do with something that is close to your heart? What do you mean by emotionally draining? Are you working with some charities and the things that we are going through is very, very hard on you to witness? Could you clarify this for me, please, Shanna? Dawn, sorry, missed your answer. Is that in and your wife in photo? No, it's my parents. It's my parents. I had someone call me. Is that you and your wife? No, it's my mum. Thank you on her behalf for saying that she's lovely. She'd be happy to hear that. No, it's my parents. I had a very difficult childhood, but this is to remind me that we've gone a long way. And yeah, it's a good thing. So Shanna, I'm still waiting. Let me know. What do you mean by emotionally draining? I would love to talk about this, but I need to know what you mean by this. Shanna, cleaning out my house. How is it emotionally draining to clean out your house? That's what I'm trying to understand. You're not talking about cleaning your house literally? Is it a relationship or is it literal? This has added another layer of confusion for me, I'm afraid. Full of memories. Okay, I get it. Okay. Okay, I get it. If you want to clean your house and it's difficult for you to get rid of stuff because they remind you of people, well, it depends. It depends on what are those things and who are those people. If you just lost someone important to you in your life and you're still going through the grieving stages, then you may not be ready to do this. Maybe you want to still, maybe you can put the stuff somewhere where you can still access them, but not right here in front of your face. Because otherwise what I would say to you is to just get yourself into a mode where you're going to change the way you look at what you're going to do. You're not cleaning, you are not getting rid of the things that remind you of some people. You're just getting rid of things. You don't see those things as reminders. But again, it's a tricky one. I think we need to know more about what those things are, who they are connected to. What you can do is to think to yourself, you know what? Keeping those things where they are, will it help me? Will it help the memory that I have of them? Think about when you are decluttering your house, maybe first put things into boxes where you can find them again, away, so that it's not definite if you're not ready to get rid of them. uh, and visualize you creating space in your mind and in your heart. As you are creating space in your immediate surrounding, it's like a metaphor for your internal state. So instead of thinking, I don't want to get rid of that, think, I'm going to feel lighter, I can see better, I can see clearer because I'm doing this. But with the understanding that you can always have access to those things in the future. If you put them somewhere away, you can always get there if it's important for you to have those things again. If you want to get rid of those things and you're ready to get rid of those things, to give it to charities forever, however, then just tell yourself, my relationship with that person is not those things. If I want to think about those people, I can always think about them. They exist in my heart. I can think about them. I don't need to have a thing. Keep a handful of stuff, but you don't need to keep everything. Maybe keep some jewelry, a piece of clothing, an item that was significant to them. If they were a musician, keep the guitar. If they were a painter, keep some brushes. But then all the rest, you can get rid of because you don't need all of those things. You want to be reminded of them, but they exist in your memories inside of you. You don't need the things. You may have some pictures. So pictures are good enough, right? Change the meaning of the things that you're trying to get rid of. I hope it makes sense. I understand that if you were attached to someone, it's like, I feel sad even thinking about it. It's like letting go of them. But that's because you are fixated on the thing. Instead, focus in you. And remind yourself that everything that you've been through exists somewhere inside of you. And remember also that whoever that those things are reminding you of, I'm sure that they would have wanted you to be happy. They don't want you to delve on those things forever. They want you to be free from the past so that you can resume your life and be happy again. And so, yeah, I hope that helps. Get rid of things, keep some stuff, and remind yourself that you have pictures. You can always focus on the memories whenever you feel like it, and then resume your day. Because the more you surround yourself with the stuff that remind you of them, the harder it's going to be for you to get over the grieving journey. Because it's constantly reminding you. And also change the perspective. Instead of thinking, I'm missing that, think, I'm choosing to do this because it makes space. It makes me feel better. I can see more clearly. I hope it helps. Is it what you meant, Shanna? Does that help at all? Jennifer, hello. Lifestyle chat. Hey, I understand, but it's very emotionally draining and tedious. Shanna, I want to get rid of the stuff. It's just physical. I thought it was someone that you lost. It's just physical. All right. In that case, do what you can. Baby step, chunks. Don't think I got to do the whole thing in one go. Think, I'm going to do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, and if it's too much, a little bit next week. And eventually, create some achievable portions of task. And then just do those little things and feel satisfied, and eventually you'll be there. If it's physically training, do whatever you can do. Even if it's tiny, it's still something. You feel better about yourself because you've done something. And then repeat it the next day, the following day, and so on and so forth. Lifestyle chat. Yes, I agree. I have the same problem. Just do a bit at a time. Okay. Jennifer, I'm leaving the country in 2 months and 16 days, and I'm going through clothes, photos, books, painting, art supplies. I've done it before, but it's never easy. Okay. So you are sharing with us that you're going through the same process. MR. Dawn, do you think binge drinking, gambling, addictive personality is narcissistic hoarding? 2. I have had to deal with a man like this, also shouts, gets aggressive. So let me try to understand the question. Do you think binge drinking, gambling, addictive personality? So I think I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying, do you think that if someone is binge drinking and gambling and has an addictive personality, it means that they're narcissistic? No. they're unrelated. They can occur at the same time, but whether we are addicted to anything or narcissist are two very different things. It's possible to be both. There's all sort of reasons as to why people could come across as aggressive and be shouting. I'm coming to the end of the stream for today, so I'm going to stop now. But Dawn, if you want to carry on, come back next week. I would love to have a conversation with you. We can expand on that. I'll be here next week for sure, Wednesday and Friday from 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. If it's busy, I should stay until 8 o'clock, just like today. If not, I'll stay as long as my people asking me questions. But if you can come back, I would love to talk about this. But it's just that it seems like a whole big conversation, and now it's 6 minutes past. So it's time for me to resume my life and do other things. Guys, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. I support you. I appreciate your support. I'm getting tired. I can't speak now. And so yeah, find me on TikTok, find me on subscribe to YouTube, check out my long form video, see if you can learn anything from that, and let me know in the comment section. And also, if you need any more details about me as a coach and as a therapist, there should be a link on my bio to my website for this. Dawn, thank you. Guys, I'm going to wish you a great day or night, wherever that you are in the world. Regina, thank you, Didi. Every Friday, Wednesday, yes, Friday and Wednesday from 6 p.m. UK time. So GMT for now, but by the end of the month, we're going to transition to BST, British Summer Time. This is why I always say UK time, because this can be confusing. Thank you, Cancer, Regina Ireland. Thank you, Regina from Ireland. Jennifer, I enjoy your insight. Thank you. I'm glad that you do. I'll see you next. Take care. Remember to be kind to others if you can, and if you can't, at least be kind to yourself. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.